Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on how to give a great academic presentation. Let's jump in. Step 1. List the requirements. Your first step is to outline the assignment's requirements, which can sometimes be unclear. That's why it's important to ensure you know exactly what the teacher expects. Try to gather examples of previous successful submissions for this or a similar assignment. Some teachers provide examples directly, or you might find them in your school's library or online. Study them to better understand exactly what's expected. Step 2. Write first, design second. Only after confirming the assignment's requirement should you write your presentation script, either word for word or in outline form. Don't open PowerPoint, Google Slides, or Keynote and begin designing slides without this script. Why? Slides are not the presentation. You are. Slides are merely visual accompaniments to the words coming from you. Whether live or recorded, you, the speaker, are the presentation. Slides only accompany your words. They provide visual support for the points you're making. Consider Harry Potter. Here's a copy of an illustrated version of a Harry Potter book. Now, which came first? The book's words or its illustrations? The words, of course. The illustrator had to have the words first before she knew what to draw. From a logical point of view, the words must precede an illustration of those words, which is what a presentation slides are, illustrations of your thoughts and words. Step 3. Focus on time, not the number of slides. As long as you stay within your given time limit, feel free to use as many or as few slides as you want. As a presenter, your job is to create what works for your topic and your audience. The number of slides is a function of that. The one exception is PowerPoint decks. At times, especially in school, you may be required to submit a PowerPoint that contains a specific number of slides that are meant to be read by an individual. In other words, you won't be giving a presentation. You'll be submitting an illustrated document in PowerPoint format. Step 4. Resist limits on the number of slides. When someone asks a presenter to limit the number of slides, their usual concern is time. Time limits should certainly be respected, but they are largely independent of the number of slides. This raises the question, how many slides should a presentation have? Common guideline is this. A new slide should begin for each main point, with a maximum of 3 subpoints on that slide. If there are more than 3 subpoints, then a new slide is probably warranted. Why? Human short-term memory is optimized for 3 to 4 items at a time, after which understanding and retention diminish. Another consideration is that the more slides change, the more an audience's attention can be maintained. As a survival mechanism, the human eye and brain are acutely sensitive to motion. So each slide change takes advantage of this visual system that is finely tuned to detect motion. Of course, slide changes must be meaningful, not distracting. Step 5. Use the 50-50 rule. This rule is about balancing text with graphics. Decades of multimedia research confirm that humans learn more when text is combined with graphics rather than with text alone. While the 50-50 rule is not a requirement, at least one graphic per slide is considered standard practice to enhance audience engagement and comprehension. Step 6. Prefer PNGs. Unlike JPEGs, PNGs can have transparent backgrounds. For example, the wheel on the left is a PNG with a transparent background, allowing it to blend in with the slide's background. However, on the right is the JPEG's typical white background, which stands out unless the slide also has a white background. Step 7. Open strong. Research has established that the first 30 to 60 seconds of a presentation are the most important. Your opening should intentionally employ a strategy meant to capture the audience's attention and establish your credibility during that brief time frame. Without an effective opening, you risk quickly losing the opportunity to engage the audience for the remainder of the presentation. Step 8. Use build animations. As you've seen in this presentation, build animations bring in points one at a time on a single slide. This helps the audience to experience the logic of what you're saying and to avoid text shock, which happens when the eyes and brain encounter too much text on a slide and attention shuts down. Step 9. Make text readable. Today, sans serif fonts are used for body text. Sans serif fonts are smooth fonts such as Arial, Calibri, Helvetica, Open Sans, and Verdana. More modern sans serif fonts include Roboto, Montserrat, Railway, or Leto. In most modern presentations, the use of serif fonts, those like Garamond, Palatino, Georgia, are usually limited to titles and headings. Limit the number of fonts you use to no more than 2 or 3 different ones in a given presentation. Ensure the text is legible. To be large and dark enough, consider using nothing less than 28 to 32 points for body copy. Font size for titles should be at least 4 points larger than text. And now, let's end with a bonus. Limit your reading aloud from a slide. The fastest that human beings can speak and still be understood is about 175 words per minute. However, the average silent reading rate is double that, or 350 words per minute. In other words, by the time you're finished reading something out loud, your audience is done waiting on you. Instead of reading text on a slide out loud, elaborate on the slide's points and tie the material together. Rely upon the audience to read the slide. The exceptions, of course, include quotations and summary points that you wish to emphasize. Okay, good luck with your presentation.